Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing another movie review. This movie is an action slash comedy from Hungary, Hungarian language English subs, released in the year 2016, directed by Attila Till, and this film is called Kills on Wheels. So Kills on Wheels are about two disabled friends. They are living a life that they're not happy with. One of the friends needs an operation, otherwise he's going to end up dying, and he doesn't want the operation because in order to get it he needs the money, and the father is offering to pay for the operation, but because the father hasn't been in this guy's life, he doesn't want anything to do with it. So he is basically ready to die. So he and his friend, they're just hanging out. Then one day they come across a guy in a wheelchair, and his name is Radislav. Now Radislav is a very rough guy. He ends up, getting angry at these two friends for a particular reason, and they end up getting into a fight. But then the more they know this guy, the more they realise that he's actually quite dangerous, and the things that he does for a living are connected to a Serbian mafia crime group. And so this man sees that these two friends are desperate for money, and he says, why not, try and help him out? And so the friends see an opportunity, but they're way out of their depth, and so the things are going to get very dangerous for them, and whether or not they can actually survive in this world is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Kills on Wheels. This was a great movie, ruined by a really bad ending. And that really disappointed me, because I was actually loving this film right up until there's something that happened at the end that I'm not going to give away, but I just thought it ruined the movie completely. And so you have a movie that for the first 3 quarters it builds something up really, really well. I thought there was a loving friendship between these two main characters. I thought, right, well, these are people who are ostracised by society, is that they're disabled, they have a lot of frustrations, they're venting their frustrations, but they're also finding they're actually finding strength within each other. So the more they hang out, the more they talk to each other, the more normal they feel. And so it is a movie about ostracised people. And I thought the movie was really well written. I thought the overall dark element of the movie, it is a very dark film, especially when this other guy comes into it, but it's basically doing whatever you can to survive, and how you're going to survive, and the means that you'll go in order to do that. And so what these two friends do, they're out of their depth, but you can always feel that chemistry, the connection, that loving friendship that they both have, and they'll die for each other. And so I thought that was actually quite charming. It was actually very good. So the script allows the acting to be actually very competent. I thought that these people were very relatable. Their frustrations, they weren't being spoilt brats, basically saying, oh, they're feeling sorry for themselves, but there was a lot of sorrow in the movie, but it doesn't get melodramatic, which is something I really appreciated. I thought that there was some very funny moments, and once again the acting allowed those funny moments to really emphasise themselves, and it actually had me chuckling quite a few times. And so for an action film, I thought it worked very well. There is some pretty brutal set pieces of violence that I thought was very hard hitting, comes out of nowhere, so it does startle you. And the overall comedy aspect I thought worked really well. So as far as an action slash comedy, which is what it bills itself as, I think it really achieved what it set out to do. And so cinematography is very dreary, very bleak, not much colouring in the film. And the violence was not excessive, but enough to actually signify what world these two were actually getting into. So I like the Serbian mafia crime group. I thought they were quite intimidating, and a lot of these European films, they have the Serbian mafia, and so a lot of Norwegian movies depict the Serbian mafia, and this film does the same. And so as far as mafia films are concerned, you would associate mafia with Italy or Russia, but Serbia as well, they come into films, and I thought those, especially the Serbian leader, I thought he was actually quite memorable, and so that was all very good. And the pacing of the film was actually fairly decent as well. So it's a movie that never derails itself. It's a movie that really should have hit a home run, basically. But then for some stupid reason, Attila Till, the director, decides to go down a path that completely just destroyed everything that the movie had created. And that, to me, I don't know why the director had to do this. Is that, yes, okay, I can understand, maybe why he did this, and it's basically just summing up all the troubles that the two main characters have. But I just thought as though, well, it wasn't needed. is that if it just went down a more consistent path, it would have just capped itself off and it would have been a really good action/comedy. And an action/comedy with a lot of charm in it, but for some reason, this director decided to go down a path that has been done many, many times before. You might like it, but for me, I just think it destroys everything that it created. It destroyed a lot of the action sort of set pieces. It destroyed a lot of the suspense. So it really doesn't warrant a second viewing. And so great films make you want to go back and watch it again, but this movie, the ending kills it, and it just kills any replay value because I thought as though I was just cheated. And so that was the biggest criticism of the film, and that was a massive, massive disappointment because this movie was going for a home run. This is a movie that was going for a strong recommendation, but unfortunately I just thought that though this is definitely a clear example of a great film being destroyed by a really weak ending. And so it just didn't know how to cap itself off, and in the end it derails itself. But having said that, there's still enough likeable qualities in the movie. I just wish that it had a better ending. So as a result of that, I'm going to give Kills on Wheels 3 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.